Good afternoon to you. You are welcome to a new week here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Helen Anyeweja and we are coming live to you from the Pia Wahima studio here at Northridge. Coming up this afternoon. Minority leader Alexander Penyomakin criticizes detention of Bunu regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Abronya DC, demanding his immediate release. Also coming up, President John Dramani Mahama unveils a bold new framework aimed at reshaping global health governance and reducing Africa's dependence on foreign healthcare systems. Later on Good Afternoon Ghana, we will be looking at the upcoming Cook Africa event by Ignite Media on the African Union Day on Saturday, May 25. All of this coming up now. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for keeping us company. My name again is Helen Anyeweja. Here are the details of the stories. Now, Minority Leader Alexander Penyomakin has criticized the continuing detention of Bunu Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Kwame Bafu, known as Abronya DC. At a press briefing in Accra, he described the process of a violation of constitutional principles and an attack on freedom of expression. Penyomakin argued that while the NPP does not support reckless public commentary, criminal prosecution should not be used as a tool to punish speech made in the public domain.
Ghana has been here before. The culture of silence does not announce itself with a decree. It does not arrive at your door with a proclamation. It arrives as likely like this, incrementally and surgically. A communicator of a party is arrested. An organizer is picked up there. A regional chairman is remanded into security remand. The message spreads quietly through every rank of the opposition. This is what dissent costs. The Mahama administration has calculated that intimidating MPP communicators and silencing its regional leadership will allow it to govern without accountability and shield its mounting incompetence from scrutiny. That calculation is profoundly wrong and it will fail. It will not work. The MPP will not be gagged, not by arrests, not by bail denial, not by BNI detention, not by any instrument of fear this government deploys. We make the following demands. Mr. Kwame Bafu Abronya might be released from BNI custody immediately. His detention is constitutionally indefensible and must end today. Second, our legal team will mount full constitutional challenge to this prosecution, including challenge to the application of sections 207 and 208 of Act 29 against political speech where civil liberties are available and adequate. Third, Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee shall, upon assumption of Parliament, be made through an application to summon the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of BNI to publicly account for every decision taken in this matter. The Chief Justice is not also above the law. Parliament will use every law under its command to summon the Chief Justice. They must all be answerable. And let the majority know this. In the effort by the minority in ensuring this is done, they should not try to stampede it. It is good for democracy, and we call on the majority to support it, because tomorrow they may be in opposition and they may need this very law to protect them. I repeat, for our friends in the majority in Parliament, I call for their cooperation, even as the minority in summoned the Chief Justice, the IGP, and the Director General BNI to appear before Parliament.
President John Dramani Mahama has unveiled a bold new framework aimed at reshaping global health governance and reducing Africa's dependence on foreign-controlled healthcare systems. Speaking at the 79th World Health Assembly on Monday, May 18, President Mahama said countries in the global south must be empowered to finance their own healthcare systems, manufacture essential medicines, and manage health data independently if they are to build resilient health sectors.
So to move beyond rhetoric, the Accra Reset, supported by a Presidential Council of Leaders from the Global South, is implementing 3 operational pillars. The first is the high-level panel on reform. This is an independent body of global experts scrutinizing the global health architecture. The second is the Reform Interlock and Observatory. It's a coherent mechanism to ensure that the strategies of the WHO, Gavi, and the Global Fund don't clash on the desk of a district health officer in rural Africa. They must be in sync. And there is HING, we call it HING, that is Health, Investment, National Gateway, Enablers. This will serve as the operational engine that converts political will into bankable, executable investments in local manufacturing and bioinnovation. In Ghana, we're leading by example. Our 2026 budget committed 34 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to $3.4 billion to health and expanded coverage to 20 million people. We're not lecturing from theory. We're building the evidence of what a sovereign health system should look like. And as I prepare to join...
Still on health this afternoon, President John Mahama has called for urgent reforms to the global health system, warning that cuts in international health funding could reverse decades of progress across developing countries. Addressing the World Health Assembly, he revealed Ghana lost $78 million following the closure of USAID programs affecting malaria, HIV/AIDS, maternal health, and nutrition services, while urging African nations to build self-sustaining healthcare systems through the Accra Reset initiative.
The global health architecture. Ghana, having co-chaired the working group for the Lusaka agenda, welcomes this. But as a committed apostle of reform of the World Health Architecture, I'm concerned about whispers I have heard that the current draft resolution seeks to protect existing organizational mandates and prohibit the recommendation of mergers or consolidations. In Mali, the Dogon people warn that do not let the sight of those eating roasted maize force you to cook your maize seeds. If we launch a process of reform that is prohibited from recommending actual reform, we are merely performing a ritual. We cannot prioritize institutional comfort over human survival. The WHO's legitimacy is not served by protecting silos. It is served by a fearless analysis of what works. When I hosted Director General Tedros, President Obasanjo, and many others in Accra in 2025, we firmed up a vision for health sovereignty. To us, sovereignty is the practical capacity to finance core functions predictably, regulate quality at the regional level, and produce critical inputs locally. A continent that manufactures less than 1% of its vaccines, while carrying 25% of global disease burden, is not sovereign. It is vulnerable. It is at best a ward of the international system. And by sovereignty, we do not mean isolationism. We're advocating the practical capacity of a nation to finance its own core functions, regulate its own quality, produce its own medicines, and govern its own data. Ministers of health in the Global South often spend more time writing donor reports than designing and fixing primary health care. This is a system that has confused the multiplication of institutions with the multiplication of impact.
President John Mahama says Africa must move away from dependency on foreign health aid and invest in resilient healthcare systems. He says this must be driven by local financing, manufacturing and innovation. Speaking at the World Health Assembly, he highlighted Ghana's expanded health insurance coverage, free primary healthcare program, AI-driven claims monitoring and the Mahama Cares Fund. He however stressed that the success of health reforms must be measured by improvements in clinics and communities, not conferences.
And I stand here before you today in the second year of my new tenure as president, mindful that the mandate given to me by my people is not merely to administer, but to transform their lives. I come from a continent that has too often been the subject of global health policy rather than its author. Today I speak to you as one of the advocates of the Accra Reset Initiative, a movement born from the conviction that the old paradigms of dependency must give way to a new era of health sovereignty. These cuts in humanitarian assistance and ODA, as painful as they are, serve as the final clear signal that the old system of donor dependency is past its sell-by date. We are witnessing the end of an era, and we must have the courage to build the next one. We are contending with an international architecture that was under strain long before these cuts even occurred. We have more global health organizations than ever, and yet country-level fragmentation has worsened. We do not come to Geneva to mourn the past. We come to build a future where a country's health is not a byproduct of charity, but a result of sovereign capability. This desire to take our health destinies into our hands imposes important responsibility on us as African leaders. We must see health spending as an investment rather than just a social obligation. Because as an advocate for African health sovereignty, I'm obliged to demonstrate this practically at home. And so in Ghana, we have moved beyond rhetoric to implement calculated, aggressive policies that place the citizen at the center of the clinical encounter. With one of the more successful national health insurance schemes in Africa, Ghana has an insurance coverage estimated at 66% as at the end of 2025. This still leaves about 34% of our population without coverage. Besides, the NHIS has been focused principally on curative care with very little attention to preventive care. To mop up the remaining population not covered by the NHIS, we have recently successfully begun implementing our free primary health care program. By removing financial barriers to the most basic and essential services at the rural level, we've ensured that our citizens in the remotest regions of our country also enjoy access to quality health care on par with their urban counterparts with an eye on preventive care. And we're grateful that the WHO, led by Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, was among the first to congratulate us on achieving this significant milestone. Thank you.
The Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, is calling for urgent reforms to the global health system, urging countries to move away from dependence on foreign aid and strengthen health sovereignty. Now, speaking at the 79th World Health Assembly, he praised Ghana's leadership role through the Accra agenda in driving efforts towards a more resilient and self-reliant global health architecture.
For a renovation to build a new global health architecture fit for the future. At this assembly, member states will consider a proposal for a member state-led WHO-hosted joint process to reform the global health architecture. Our purpose is not to launch a new initiative, but to bring together the many existing initiatives that have proposed reforms of the global health architecture in part or in whole. That's why we have chosen as the theme for this year's World Health Assembly, Reshaping Global Health, a Shared Responsibility. And this is where the leadership of His Excellency President Mahama has been so decisive in launching the Accra Reset last year. In the past year, many countries have experienced severe disruptions due to sudden and steep cuts in the development assistance. Those disruptions and the damage they caused to the health of individuals, families and communities were regrettable and avoidable. But they had an intended benefit. They prompted many leaders to say now is the moment to leave behind the era of donor dependency and open a new era of health sovereignty. This is the message of the Accra Reset, and the echoes of Accra are now resounding in Geneva and around the world.
Now let's turn our attention to other matters, as the Ghana Police Service in the Oti region have intercepted large quantities of ammunition during two separate intelligence-led operations in Nkwanta. Two suspects are currently in custody assisting investigation, while security agencies continue efforts to track down another suspect who escaped. There's more in the following report.
Police Service in the Oti region says the operations were carried out on Saturday, May 17, as part of ongoing efforts to maintain peace and security in the area. According to a police statement from the Regional Police Headquarters in Dambai, the first operation involved the interception of a 66-seater MGI bus at a security checkpoint in Nkwanta. A search conducted on the vehicle uncovered 750 live cartridges hidden in a black polythene bag inside a brown box. Police say the suspect, identified as a 53-year-old Hudu Mahama, who was serving as the driver's mate, admitted ownership of the ammunition during preliminary investigations. In a separate operation the same day, a joint police and military team reportedly retrieved another box of ammunition after it fell from the motorbike of a suspect rider being pursued by security personnel. The box contained 250 rounds of ammunition made up of 125 AA cartridges and 125 BB cartridges. The unidentified rider managed to escape, but preliminary investigations later led to the arrest of another suspect, 57-year-old Christian Kwesi Alonise. Police say both suspects remain in custody while investigations continue. The retrieved ammunition has also been retained as evidence as security agencies intensify efforts to retrieve a second missing box and arrest the fleeing suspect.
Now, the Narcotics Control Commission has stepped up efforts to clamp down illegal drug activities across the country. A series of operations carried out in parts of Greater Accra and the Oti region over the weekend led to the arrest of several suspects and the seizure of suspected narcotic substances.
The Narcotics Control Commission operation in parts of Greater Accra and the Oti region led to multiple arrests and the confiscation of suspected illegal substances. The coordinated swoop focused on identified drug hotspots at Kisiman, Dome and Kwabenya in Accra, where operatives reportedly uncovered quantities of suspected narcotics and other items believed to be linked to illegal drug activities. Authorities say the exercise is part of a broader nationwide strategy aimed at reducing drug trafficking and substance abuse, particularly in heavily populated communities. Individuals arrested during the raids are currently being interrogated to assist ongoing investigations as NARCOC moves to uncover and disrupt larger networks involved in the circulation of narcotic drugs. Meanwhile, a separate operation at Alabanyo in the Oti region also resulted in additional arrests and the retrieval of suspected narcotic substances. NARCOC has reiterated its determination to combat drug-related crimes and caution persons engaged in the unlawful trade to abandon such activities or face legal consequences.
Away from crime, let's get back to health. Now, the Ministry of Health has assured the public that Ghana has not recorded any suspected or confirmed Ebola case, despite outbreaks reported in Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In a press release, the ministry says precautionary measures have been activated nationwide, including enhanced screening at airports, seaports, and land borders, as well as intensified public education and emergency response systems. Authorities are urging the public to remain calm, observe safety protocols, and report any suspected symptoms to the nearest health facility. Our screens now, as outbreak of Ebola in Uganda and Democratic Republic of the Congo surfaces. Now, the Ministry of Health wishes to inform the public that recent cases of Ebola virus disease have been reported in some African countries. According to updates from the World Health Organization and Africa CDC, confirmed and suspected cases have recently been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda. Now, Ghana has not recorded any suspected or confirmed case. 2. The Ministry of Health is working in collaboration with the international health partners and have activated precautionary measures nationwide to strengthen the country's preparedness and response systems. Now, current measures being implemented include enhanced surveillance and screening at airports, seaports, and land borders. Now, of travelers arriving from affected countries, training and equipping health workers to identify, isolate, and manage suspected cases safely, and also activation of public health emergency coordination and rapid response systems, intensified public education, risk communication, and community awareness activities. Now, Ebola virus disease is severe viral illness spread through direct contact with the bodily fluids of infected persons or contaminated materials and surfaces. Symptoms may include fever, weakness, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, and in severe cases, bleeding. Away from that, the district chief executive for the Gwan district in the Oti region, Godfred Koku Kofi, has expressed concern over the abandonment of Assembly's complex projects. According to him, the Assembly is currently operating from a rented apartment and is facing disputes with the landlord at the rent control department. A situation he says is undermining effective administration and slowing progress in the district.
Facility. Meanwhile, the Assembly Complex project, which was initiated under the previous administration, has been abandoned at the foundation level. Building materials such as sand, blocks, stones, and construction equipment have been overtaken by weeds and exposed to harsh weather conditions after work on the project came to a halt. A visit to the abandoned Gwan District Assembly Complex by the district's chief executive painted a worrying picture of neglect and stalled development. He explained that the absence of a permanent office complex is seriously affecting administrative work in the district.
In fact, day in day activities, you see, the whole department are scattered. We're supposed to have one department under one umbrella. But when you go to this place, for instance, you see Agric office in Akpafu. You see District Health Office in Santro Kofi. You see Education Office in Lolobi, where the administration capital is at Mate. So sometimes the director have to commute from Lolobi about 7 kilometers to Mate. Somebody also have to, health director have to commute from what? Santro Kofi, about 9 kilometers, pass round Hohwe to here. and then agric officer also. So this is affecting our operation seriously. I'll not deceive you. So for us to be able to stay and work as a assembly, I'm appealing to the government, please. Office complex is the most important thing for us to have, a nice place to work.
Godfred Koku Kofi expressed frustration that the assembly is currently operating from a rented apartment while also battling court issues with the landlord of the facility. He called on the central government, particularly the Ministry of Local Government, to urgently intervene.
Right now, the place that we are working now, the office accommodation that we occupy now, it is a rented premises. So we are even battling with the court. Currently, the court is giving us a direction either we should stay or we should follow certain conditions. That means that the rent and other things that we'll be paying, when you compare it than to get office accommodation, I think it will be better. So if we should go, now where are we going to stay and work? We are to build, we are to develop, but where are you going to stay? Administratively, administration block have to be built for workers to stay and work. So I am appealing to the government, instead of us to use our common fund to build this thing, they should put up an office for us so that we'll be able to stay and work. So ours is to appeal to the government to come into our aid, because without office complex, how could assembly operate?
They believe the completion of the assembly complex will improve coordination, governance, and development within the Gwan district.
Let's now turn our attention to education. The Member of Parliament for Akachi North constituency in the Volta region and Chairman of Parliament Education Committee, Peter Nochu Kotwe, has called on the Finance Minister to increase financial clearance for the recruitment of more teachers across the country. According to the Akachi North lawmaker, over 1 million basic school children lack access to teachers. Hence, the need for additional financial clearance to employ more teachers. The MP made the statement during the commissioning of departmental projects in the district.
Led by the Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu, the MP for Akachi North, together with the District Chief Executive, Bless Katamani, commissioned 7 major infrastructure projects in the Akachi North District. The projects include a 3-unit classroom block at Nudo Kope, 2 4-seater pour flush toilet facilities, and mechanized boreholes at Afiadeniba EP and DA basic schools, a 10-unit office complex for the Akachi North District Health Directorate, and an ambulance bay for the Ghana National Ambulance Service, among others. Speaking to the media, the District Chief Executive for Akachi North, Bless Katamani, stated that the projects are aimed at addressing the developmental needs of the district and giving back to taxpayers.
When you are elected and you are put in authority, look, you are being paid with taxpayers' money as your salary. When you wake up and you come and sit in your office, in your air-conditioned office, in your air-conditioned car, when you are driving, burning fuel, it is the taxpayers' money, and they don't need anything from you. What they need is what can ease the life for them. So if you create or you build mechanized borehole, that is the price, that is the payment for them, so that at least what they are losing, they also get it. If you put up toilet, if you put up administrative complex like this, so that they can be comfortable and work for the people, this is paying back.
The Volta Regional Minister said the project reflects the government's commitment to fulfilling the President's promise of completing legacy projects while initiating new development projects.
It's a fulfillment of the promises that we made to the good people of Akachi North. And Akachi North is one of the districts we created in 2012. And we created it for development. We created it to bring governance closer to the people and advance the cause of development.
While commending the Assembly's efforts to improve access to education, the head of administration and finance at the Akachi North Education Directorate, Promise Avogbedo, revealed that about 180 teachers are needed in the district to address the teacher deficit.
Teacher deficits affect teacher learning in this way. Most schools, instead of 10, 12 teachers, have 4, 5, 6 teachers, which led to multi-grade teaching. Multi-grade teaching, I mean a teacher handling more than 2 classes. And this does not augur well for good learning, or does not augur well for a good performance from the pupils. It reduces academic performance because teachers are not there. The few one there man or teach different so many classes, which affect the teacher's performance and low performance.
The MP for Akachin North acknowledged the nationwide teacher deficit, especially at the basic school level, and called on the finance minister to grant more financial clearance for teacher recruitment.
It is not only Akachin North, it is all over. And that's why we are not happy with the clearance given by the Minister for Finance that the Minister of Education or the GS should recruit only 7,000 teachers. We are fighting. We want the number to be doubled because estimates show that about 1 million school children at the basic level are lacking teachers. So we cannot afford to make our education standards fall. The Minister for Finance must do something about the clearance that he has given to the Ministry of Education. It's woefully inadequate.
Still on education this afternoon, Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Apak, has announced a major policy shift declaring that no new school will be built in Ghana without toilet facilities and access to water, making a decisive step toward ending poor sanitation in schools. He made this known in the Wash in Schools policy dialogue and the launch of the Child Sanitation Diploma's one-year project in Accra.
Organized by World Vision Ghana, the policy dialogue identified practical ways of improving water, sanitation and hygiene in schools, with a focus on creating a safe and conducive learning environment.
You realize that there are many schools without access to safe drinking water, improved sanitation and hygiene, and it's affecting the education of our children. It's also affecting their health. And if you take the Education Management Information System, which is conducted by Ministry of Education, it tells us that 26% of all public basic schools don't have access to a toilet facility, and 25% don't have access to safe drinking water. That is a huge problem.
Discussions centered on the provision of functional toilet facilities and access to clean water, with the Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Apak, cautioning metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives that inspections will be conducted in schools within their jurisdictions to assess sanitary conditions.
That in the past, several school buildings were constructed without proper water and sanitation facilities. But I wish to assure you that under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the visionary leadership of the Minister for Education, Haruna Iddrisu, no new school, and I emphasize, no new school infrastructure will be undertaken without the full provision of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities. In collaboration with all relevant ministries, agencies, MFDAs, and development partners such as World Vision Ghana, the government will continue working to ensure that every school has access to clean drinking water, decent toilet facilities, and proper hygiene services.
The Wash in Schools policy dialogue was held alongside the launch of the Child Sanitation Diploma's one-year project by World Vision Ghana, aimed at empowering pupils to proper hygiene and improved sanitation in schools and communities.
From education, let's do some business this afternoon. In the world of high-stakes business, money is often called the ultimate currency. But according to the managing director of Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Doris Kweko Ajay, there is a much more powerful asset on the balance sheet: trust. Speaking at the 2026 Titan Seminar, the sustainability leader argued that while cash is the oxygen of a business, character is the engine that keeps it flowing.
Addressing the seminar on the theme, the leader's currency, trust, capital and strategic growth, Doris Kweko Ejei, Managing Director of Zoomlion Ghana Limited, challenged the traditional obsession with liquid cash. She noted that while money is oxygen that prevents a business from suffocating, it remains volatile.
Money can disappear. Money, cash is volatile. And so what do? We need to build the trust. When you have built trust with your brand, when you have built trust with your employees, capital finds you naturally. And then when capital finds you, that leads to that strategic growth. Then, obviously, when maintained, you leave a legacy behind. We have built teams, we have built talent. We believe that people deliver the results, and people are people first before their jobs. So we have done a lot by investing into their skills so that together they can work, our net promoter score can increase, and so we can have referrals.
She outlined 3 laws of trust, emphasizing the importance of investing in people.
The flywheel of the leader's currency. And that is if you have built trust with your brand. Zoomlion is a brand, has become a household name in Ghana when it comes to the waste management sector. So when we have built that brand trust, then automatically, that answers that capital and then the growth that we are all looking for.
The final challenge to the audience was a shift in perspective to measure wealth not by a bank balance, but by the legacy of a trusted name.
Political analyst, senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast and executive director of African Institute of Strategic Studies, Jonathan Asante Ochri, speaking on Good Morning Ghana, cautioned against culture of silence claims, describing the claims as an exaggeration not backed by data. Senior lecturer and policy analyst at the University of Ghana, Joshua Jabwinti Zato, also advised against the criminalizing of loose talk because Ghana cannot have democracy without loose talk.
But we shouldn't criminalize foolishness. The person says something that is visual, that in itself we should not criminalize it. We shouldn't criminalize stupidity. If the people are stupid, we shouldn't criminalize it. We shouldn't criminalize indiscretion. If the people are exercising indiscretion or doing that, we shouldn't criminalize it. We shouldn't criminalize loose talk. If the people are speaking loosely, you are the government. You can control almost the communication machine of this country. Put up counter evidence, counter facts to do it. Now they are coming after political opponents. Now they are using the law against sometimes low-hanging fruits, or sometimes ground-lying fruits of the political chain. Men and women who, under normal circumstances, cannot even guarantee a bail or anything. And sometimes it's the ridiculous loan bail conditions.
Okay.
We should be able to have somebody there that says, look, for these issues, they will happen. You cannot have a democracy without, let me say, loose talk. You cannot have a democracy without temporary speech. You cannot have a democracy without, let me say, trouble rousers. You will have them. They are fruits of the system.
Culture of silence is back. Yes. I think that is just an exaggeration. It cannot be. Because why are we here if there is culture of silence?
Right.
And is anybody harassing us with the state power? It's because we are responsible and we are behaving responsibly. If you look at Press Freedom Index from 2021 up to 2025, 2021 Ghana was ranked 30th. Then we deteriorated in 2022, 60th. 2024, then we at least improved 50th. 2023, another deterioration, 62nd. Right, and 2024, 50th. Okay. In 2025, in the period where we are claiming the culture of silence is back, we are ranked globally 39th out of 180 and 4th in Africa.
Okay.
So if maybe the opposition is crying wolf about press freedom and other things, I think that it is not supported by data.
Now we all for the news updates here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Helen Anyeweja, and this is where I take leave of you. There's more after this break. Please stay.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today, me.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the Puma. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This Easter, Estate Masters Limited is giving you more reasons to celebrate in our extended Easter promo. Secure your dreamland at Nest Cottage, Chopoli with a massive 15% discount. Or choose Palm Hills, Gomwa Pamfukurum, also at 15% discount. And for lovers of the coast, Coastal Park, Ningo Prampram awaits you at 10% discount. Plus, enjoy free site visits and free documentation because we make land ownership simple. This Easter, don't just celebrate, invest in your future. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
Hello everyone, my name is Kauta Rafiq from Morocco Embassy. I am inviting all of the Moroccan community as well as all Africans to celebrate Cook Africa at Metro TV the 23rd of May, 9 a.m. as part of the AU Day celebrations. Morocco will be serving one of its most famous dishes, steamed lamb. Can't wait for you to try it and can't wait to meet all of you.
Habari means hello. On behalf of the Honorary Consul, Honorary Dr. Ken Kwaku, I welcome you to the Consulate of the United Republic of Tanzania in Accra. This year, as Africa celebrates African Union Day, Metro TV are organizing Cook Africa on the African Union Day, and Tanzania and our Tanzania diaspora community will be participating. We are inviting every Tanzanian and every African here in Ghana to be present on the 23rd of May 2026 at the premises of Metro TV, where you have the opportunity to enjoy Tanzania cuisine, ugali, pilau, samaki, chips mayai, and the wonderful Tanzanian drinks. Also, you have the opportunity to see Tanzanian culture, our dresses and artifacts, our products, and other things that are of interest to you. And therefore, we are appealing to everyone. Come with your family. Come and enjoy Africa. Come and see culture. Come and see diversity. Come and enjoy all the food and all the beautiful things that come from Africa. Karibu, ndugu zangu, karibuni kwa ubalozi wa heshima ya Tanzania hapa. Tunawakaribisha kwa tukio la Metro TV. Wanasema kuna mapishi na ni nafasi kwetu kupika vyakula mbalimbali vya Tanzania kama ugali, chipsi mayai, pilau, kuku na vinginevyo. Karibuni ndugu zangu, tuonyeshe utamaduni wa Tanzania na kueneza tamaduni za Tanzania. Asante sana.
Guess what? Senegal is rapping at Cook Africa on 23rd May at Metro TV at 9 sharp. Hello, my name is Abby. I'm a Senegalese living in Ghana. I'm inviting all Senegalese, all Africans to come and enjoy Senegal food, to come and taste our most popular jollof rice called ceebu. So I'm inviting tous les francophones. Donc, où sont les Sénégalais? J'invite tous les francophones, tous les Sénégalais. Ana Sénégalais, maa ngi leen invité yéen ñëpp ngeen ñëw supporter seen jeeg le 23 mai à Metro TV. Bu ko kenn tardé.
Hello, Cook Africa. My name is Mohamed Lamin Diallo. I come from Guinea. I am one of the Guinean community leaders and the president of DMD in Ghana. And today I am inviting all of you to come to Metro TV to see what Guineans are going to cook. We have what we call mango stew. Mango stew is only found in Guinea. And come and see how we're gonna do it. We have our cooker, Mama Yu, the best cook in Africa. He's going to represent Guinea community that day. And it's going to be on the 23rd May at Metro TV premises around 9 a.m. You are warmly invited to come to Metro TV that day to support us and support the event. La Guinée yama no invité fene, Kotobabi, Nima, Kaswa, Mamubi, Obringa mini, Kumasi, Biringafa, Omafa la Guinée culture masin Afrique be, Oma masin Afrique be, Umfatanara Nabadi. La Guinée monge sauce, ana la Guinée kansane, Mara roule ni rafala na fani toma la Guinée nantu. Donc, nous bien invité fene la Guinée communauté bin Garakui, Ora mini, Oma masin, Umfatanara na, Sinin Fitni, Wassalam.
A flavor, a feeling, a moment you can't resist. Metro TV is bringing you Cook Africa AU Day on Saturday, the 23rd of May 2026, under the theme My Kitchen and Safe Sanitation. From every corner, every culture, join us at the Metro TV premises. Come, let's have fun, eat, and experience the taste of Africa together. This event is a Metro TV event supported by Metro TV Digital, Original TV, and Original FM.
Good afternoon and welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. We are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. My name is Nana Kwesi. I'm sitting in for your regular host, Kwesi Efriye. All right, so this afternoon we have two strong conversations coming up. The first one has to do with Ignite Media marking AU Day with Cook Africa event. I have two distinguished members that are organizing this very wonderful Cook Africa that I'll be talking to. They'll be taking us through all the details, the nitty-gritties that you would expect or get to know before you join us as we celebrate AU Day, cooking some of the best African food that you can ever think right here on Metro TV. And then secondly, IMF program ends, Ghana moves to new non-financing policy. We want to see the way forward. Where do we stand now as a country? How are we moving? We are out of our IMF, and what are the strategies that we intend to, make work so that we can go forward strongly as a country? We will be speaking to Dr. George Dumfe, development economist, who will be joining us in between our conversations here. In the meantime, I'd like to introduce our guests that are here with us to talk about Cook Africa. Dennis Gla, who happens to be the head of events, marketing, and sponsorship, Ignite Media. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Kwesi Kwetia.
My brother, how are you?
The man called Kwetia.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, sure.
And then we also have Clara Owusu, Sales Executive, Ignite Media Group. Good afternoon to you, Clara.
Good afternoon.
All right, so Cook Africa is in town right here at Metro TV. AU Day.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do it on AU Day?
Oh, the best day to commemorate Africa unity, to celebrate Africa, is on AU Day, because that is the day that has been set aside to celebrate African unity. So this year, AU Day falls on the 25th of May, which is a Monday. But you know Monday and its busy schedules. So we have placed the event strategically on the 23rd, which is the Saturday, so that we'll have
this coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday, so that we'll have a family day. So the whole of Africa is coming to Metro TV.
And I understand that several African countries are part of this. Would you take us through some of the vendors so that we get to know them? I mean, those that are joining us so that we can celebrate Africa.
Yeah, sure. So you mean the embassies coming, right?
Yes.
All right. So we have close to over 20 African embassies in Ghana coming. You know, the Moroccan embassy, the Tanzanian consulate, the Togo embassy, just mention them. They are all coming, and they are coming to prepare their local native dish. Have you tried the cassava leaves from Sierra Leone before?
I don't think I have.
Come on Saturday, you'll have a good time.
All right, let me go to Clara. Clara, you also happen to be part of the sales. I mean, from where you stand as a salesperson, what has been done so far in terms of like the people that would also join us aside from the embassies? Because at the end of the day, as much as we're bringing Africa here, we're also bringing some other vendors to join us so that at least we can celebrate together and then also see the way forward as we become one as Africans.
All right, so far we have Anita, who is providing us stage, and we have another lady who is also helping the kids with the games they'll play around, because, you know,
so you can come with your kids?
Yeah, you're supposed to come with your kids.
Tell us
more. It's
more.
a family thing, so you can't come alone.
Okay.
We are here to unite, talk to people, you know, get new contacts and all that. So you're supposed to come with your kids. The kids also have fun on their own.
Talk to us through some of the different types of African foods that we are definitely going to experience on Saturday.
Okay, so we have Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire. Benin is giving us
the jenkpele.
Jenkpele.
Yeah, the jenkpele. You know the jenkpele is like apaprensa.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apaprensa.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only one that you think you can talk about?
Oh, and Ghana too is on board. You know, our favorite jollof rice. The competition is still on, so we are going to know who is who on Saturday.
Nigeria will be serving their egusi soup with amala. You know the swallow?
Yeah, the swallow.
So the swallow...
They are specials when it comes to swallow.
So the swallow, you can either have amala or you have semo.
Yeah, semo. I love semo.
With the egusi ogbono, those soups. So, you know, if you want to taste Africa, Saturday, Metro TV is the place.
Let's look at the reason why Metro TV decided to do this.
Of course, you know, Ignite Media, not just Metro.
Okay.
Ignite Media, Original TV, Original FM. We are a huge media institution in Africa. And if Africa is commemorating, or if Ghana, we are celebrating Africa unity, Metro Ignite Media should be in the forefront. And we have this relationship with these embassies. Why not bring them together? Let's have fun on the Saturday. And let's celebrate Africa unity. One people, one Africa.
What's the ultimate goal for this? What do we seem to achieve out of this?
So if you have Ghanaians in South Africa being chased out of Africa,
okay,
then you will see the importance of Africa unity. We are going to have kids from Queen's International School, East Legon, and they'll be doing a sketch on the day, on Saturday, on Africa unity. Africa, we must unite. We are one. So this issue of visa-free and all that becomes significant. It encourages trade, and Africa becomes the winner at the end of the day. So these are the objectives that we want to push, and we are starting with the food, because you know what food does?
It brings people together.
It makes us smile.
All right, so I mean, you've been speaking to the embassies that are joining us on Saturday. How receptive do you think they are towards this very event?
So far, they've been very, very receptive towards us, because anywhere we go, you can see that everyone is happy. And one important thing is, whatever they are cooking is free from Ignite Media. We are giving them the product, the ingredients. We are providing everything. So they were so surprised to know that we are not taking anything from them, and they are here to just cook on live.
Wow.
It's a very nice thing.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely. I mean, Dennis, can you run us through the line of activity for the day so that we can all have a picture of how the day is going to look like?
So basically, we are cooking on the day.
Okay.
All right. So it's live cooking. It's Cook Africa. Africa will be cooking. So come see the dishes and the cuisines that all these African countries, all these African embassies will be cooking. So that's going to be happening live on the ground. Okay, it's not like they are going to cook from their various embassies and transport. No, the cooking is going to be done here. And as my colleague Clara mentioned, GH Schools is representing Ghana.
Okay.
So they are going to be focused on the Ghana jollof. So it's going to be live cooking interspersed with activities. We are going to have Xavier, the voice trumpeter.
Okay.
He's going to be performing. In fact, we are going to have greetings from America. So somebody is going to be bringing us greetings from the White House.
It's going to be awesome. Saturday. Coming this Saturday, I'm sure that
coming Saturday, 23rd May.
It's not something that we all would want to miss.
Coming Saturday, 23rd May, 9 a.m. Metro TV, Northridge is the premises.
All right, so let me ask you this. I mean, as much as we're doing this with African countries and the embassies that are all involved, how well have we reached out to the public for them also to join us?
Oh, our media platforms are huge. Metro Digital gives you the biggest Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, avenues, and we are huge there. And people are already calling and are excited about it. Original FM is pushing it. Metro, you are pushing it. So the public is engaged. They are aware and they are excited. They are getting ready. Saturday here will be full.
All right, so Clara, what is it? I mean, what's in for the public that are joining us here on Saturday? When they come, what should they expect? Is it just the food that you're coming to eat, or are they going to be paying something? Are they going to be part of some sort of activity that you have put together?
It's free for everyone.
Okay.
It's free for everyone. So you are free to come in and enjoy. Come and taste different delicacies from all these countries. We have Benin, so many embassies. They are all coming on board to help us. So it's free. You are not supposed to pay anything. Just come with your family, and that's it.
Just the family, and then come and have a wonderful time. All right, so, I mean, what's the wow factor for the day? As much as I know that is the cooking, I should believe that maybe there's going to be like a competition where somebody is going to be awarded something or some sort. I have no idea, but I'm checking.
Okay.
What is the wow factor for that very particular day? What should we all walk away with?
Okay, so it's you having to taste eba and a goosey that probably you have not been privy to. That should be the wow factor. And so that's the Cook Africa thing. And then the atmosphere that is going to be created where everybody gets to relax and interact should be something that you will want to enjoy. So when you come here, it's going to be cool music on the background, and then people get to interact, people get to talk, and then we enjoy ourselves.
Let's list the number of countries that are coming here. I just want the public to get to know.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's just some few ones that we've named or we've listed out. But I want the public to know the number of countries that are coming. You said 20. Let's get to know them.
No, close to 20. Mentioning all the 20 will be very difficult, but we can try. So
no,
Benin,
try. I mean, if we should get 10, 11.
So Benin is coming.
Okay.
I'll mention the Clara version. Do you want us to go?
Yeah, let's do that.
Benin is coming. Togo is coming. Tanzania is coming. Morocco is coming. Senegal is coming. Sierra Leone is coming. Guinea-Conakry is coming.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire is coming.
Morocco
is coming. Like, they're all coming.
They're all going to be here.
Yeah, they're going to be here.
It's a cosmopolitan African day for all of us.
I tell you, it's going to be fun. Fun day here.
All right.
Yeah, fun day.
All right. So we have a special person who actually has endorsed what is going to happen on Saturday. We're going to watch that. When we come back, we're going to take your final word.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Kauta Rafiq from Morocco Embassy. I am inviting all of the Moroccan community as well as all Africans to celebrate Cook Africa at Metro TV the 23rd of May, 9 a.m. as part of the AU Day celebrations. Morocco will be serving one of its most famous dishes, steamed lamb. Can't wait for you to try it and can't wait to meet all of you.
Habari means hello. On behalf of the Honorary Consul, Honorary Dr. Ken Kwaku, I welcome you to the Consulate of the United Republic of Tanzania in Accra. This year, as Africa celebrates African Union Day, Metro TV are organizing Cook Africa on the African Union Day. And Tanzania and our Tanzania diaspora community will be participating. We are inviting every Tanzanian and every African here in Ghana to be present on the 23rd of May 2026 at the premises of Metro TV, where you have the opportunity to enjoy Tanzania cuisine, ugali, pilau, samaki, chips mayai, and the wonderful Tanzanian drinks. Also, you have the opportunity to see Tanzanian culture, our dresses and artifacts, our products, and other things that are of interest to you. And therefore, we are appealing to everyone, come with your family, come and enjoy Africa, come and see culture, come and see diversity, come and enjoy all the food and all the beautiful things that come from Africa. Karibu, ndugu zangu, karibuni kwa ubalozi wa heshima ya Tanzania hapa. Tunawakaribisha kwa tukio la Metro TV. Wanasema kuna mapishi na ni nafasi kwetu kupika vyakula mbalimbali vya Tanzania kama ugali, chipsi mayai, pilau, kuku na vinginevyo. Karibuni ndugu zangu, tuonyeshe utamaduni wa Tanzania na kueneza tamaduni za Tanzania. Asante sana.
Hello everyone, I'm Madam Kam from Burkina Faso. I invite all of Burkina people, diaspora, IAS, to come at Metro TV 23 May for Cook Africa AU Day. Je me présente Madame Kam, je suis du Burkina Faso. J'invite toute la population à sortir massivement pour Cook African AU Day à Metro TV le 23 mai. Sortez massivement.
So various endorsements coming from the various African countries joining us here on 23rd of May 2026. That is AU Day for us, because AU Day would be on Monday, which is 25th.
Yeah.
But then we have decided that we're going to push it to 23rd so that we can have the Cook Africa Day. I mean, it's happening right here at Metro TV, North Ridge. You should join us here. I mean, it should be on your calendar that this Saturday, this is where you're coming with the family. All right, so when we listen to the various endorsements, they were speaking in their local languages. So, Dennis.
Yeah.
Well, the people, they talk plenty languages. So make we also talk one. You want me to talk Chi? You want me to talk Chi? Or what are your final words? You if you talk in your own local language as we invite the public to join us. What you can?
And I yenka Chi.
Yenka ni nyina
Alo mya dovegbe.
No, I can't go there. I can't go to that Igbe. No, into you. But you can Chi in the yenko.
All right, so no, I won't do Chi, but let me do English because
no. Let's do this. It's time for our local languages. They spoke their local languages, so we are inviting the public.
Eyi corporate Ghana for. On say program is my colleague Clara Kaya no. Yana ye provide ingredients no. Emma, your friend is saying embassies no. Because now you empese ye say ebia ye sekase and all that. So we are yana ye more ingredients no. And so ye calling on corporate Ghana say they should still come around. I mean, these few days, but they can still come around and support this laudable initiative. So, Mumbra, Mofia Moaba, ni wafe kumi, Mekatamia Wadeka, Nemia celebrate Africa. It is time for Africa. It is time for Africa.
We have a dream. All right, so Clara, into Usese, Obeka in Krana say Igbi and I said, Obeka. China Bitimaka, inti.
Can say invite Adolfo Bia or Mumbra. No mumra mebwa na ye program na enye fe asa.
Ye ba be nu aduane.
Ye ba be nu aduane.
Na aduane no Ghana no aduane be na ye be nu a.
Wa we need to afufu ni light soup.
Eno an ye be. And then other African countries also do something different.
Yeah, they will do their stuff.
Na jollof competition so ye dey atwa.
Hey, jollof ni dey yenje mu.
David.
Hey, hot dodo.
And they say a Metro brand.
Metro
TV Jollof Festival.
Yeah, that's it.
And also about
share.
Until after Cook Africa Jollof Festival. Look for it. It's coming.
All right. In common this is here when you have a chat 20. I would want you to say your final words. I mean, I gave you the opportunity to say it in your local language. So your final words, and then we're good to go.
Okay. So English.
Yes.
All right. So we want to thank the management of Ignite Media for pushing this laudable initiative. It's a great epic event, and as I said, we are calling on corporate Ghana. We're asking everyone, if you are into any commerce and you would want to associate with this event, you can actually call me on 054-028-1537, and then let's have a conversation. If you're a vendor and you want to take advantage and come and position your brand, let's do business. Let's talk. It's going to be a great day. It's a carnival, actually. It's an African carnival. Let's come and let's have fun.
All right. So Clara, what's your final words?
Okay. All I want to say to people is that we are still inviting all of them to come. All Ghanaians, all Africans in Ghana, whether you're Togolese, whoever you think you are, just come here and enjoy yourself.
All right, so before you go, why don't you mention the number again?
054-028-1537.
Take your time now.
054-028-1537.
Thank you very much, Dennis Gla
of
Metro TV for talking to us on Cook
so
Africa. And then thank you, Clara, also for joining us. We've been speaking about Cook Africa, the biggest event that's coming Saturday in the whole of Ghana. I mean, you're supposed to be here. It's a family event. 20 plus African countries are joining us here. Different types of African foods are definitely going to be cooked, and we're going to eat and enjoy Africa. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue with the rest of the conversation on Good Afternoon, Ghana.
A flavor, a feeling, a moment you can't resist. Metro TV is bringing you Cook Africa AU Day on Saturday, the 23rd of May 2026, under the theme My Kitchen and Safe Sanitation. From every corner, every culture, join us at the Metro TV premises. Come, let's have fun, eat, and experience the taste of Africa together. This event is a Metro TV event supported by Metro TV Digital, Original TV, and Original FM.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is seho by, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude, feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health, not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Launching BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in Theoeconomy, certificate in Theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at the State University in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557-351-090 or 0575-633-307 or 030-296-0542. WhatsApp us on 0557-351-090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
Good morning, Ghana. Wake up to the big matters of the nation with Moro Awudu.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television.
You left power at a time when you couldn't feel second to speak.
Hey, I have my standards, you have your standards.
No.
I'm never had to tell you for a second.
Every morning, live on Metro TV.
If we don't do it, our energy sector will collapse and we'll be in the darkness. And it is actually going to cost us more to be in the darkness. You lost me about 2 terms back.
2025 all the way to 2028. That's the meaning of it. Because the government says that they are extending that tax. What is sensitivity? And that's Professor Mama and Honorable Dr. Force are committed.
Unfiltered insights, groundbreaking perspectives.
Expenditure is key, but you can't spend when you don't have the money.
We go again next day. Good morning, Ghana.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. And we are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. And IMF program ends. I told you earlier on, Ghana moves to new non-financing policy. And we're going to have that conversation. But before that, I'd like to go through some few specific communications for you to get the message clear before the conversation will start. Ghana successfully concludes IMF Extended Credit Facility Program and transitions to a non-financing technical assistance policy coordination instrument. And it says that the government of Ghana financial bailout program with the International Monetary Fund. Secondly, this milestone represents the restoration of microeconomic stability and debt sustainability, well ahead of original timeline. And thirdly, following the derailment of the IMF financial bailout program at the end of 2024, the government of Ghana and then also the President, John Dramani Mahama, in 2025 acted decisively to bring back on track and to also recalibrate it by implementing a front-loaded fiscal conclusion or consolidation, bold expenditure rationalization, and also a strong structural reforms. These efforts have delivered tangible results. Inflation has reduced significantly. The CD has also strengthened very well. Public debt as a share of GDP and has also declined sharply. And then economic growth has also rebounded strongly. Ghana's sovereign credit ratings have improved significantly from restricted default and then also to something, one of that is the 8 with a positive outlook, representing 5 distinct rating levels upgrades. And then also this reflects improved fiscal performance, normalized creditor relations, stronger external buffers, and a renewed market confidence. Ghana's gross international reserves have risen to an all-time high, reaching approximately $14.5 billion by February 2025, almost 6 months of import cover. And then also, these foreign exchange reserve buffers provide Ghana with a capacity to withstand external shocks and stand on its own feet. This announcement marks the definitive end of Ghana's financial bailout relationship with IMF. Government is exceedingly grateful to the people of Ghana for their sacrifices, resilience, and then also forbearance. And we are looking forward to us standing on our own economically and also changing the face of Ghana economically. So this is where we stand as a country. We are free from IMF. We're on our own. It is time for us to utilize our various resources within our land to make the best out of and also to stand strongly as a country as we also compete with the international market. So this is where the conversation is going to lead all of us as we look at the bailout from IMF. My guest will be joining me shortly as we go deeper into that conversation on IMF and Ghana's bailout right here. So don't forget, we are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, and that is on Facebook and also on DSTV on channel 277. So I'm going to find out whether my guest is online. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, so I'm speaking to Mr. George Dompe, who happens to be the development economist. George Dompe, a development economist. Good afternoon once again, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Yes, Dr. George Dompe. A quick one. Let me find out about the Ghana's bailout on IMF. The first thing that I want to ask you is what helped Ghana to actually be able to walk out of it?
Yeah, so I listened to you when you gave the background, a very beautiful background. But let me say very good afternoon to our cherished viewers and listeners, and thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah, so as we really put it, for the past 16 months, 36 months, we have been on the IMF Extended Credit Facility program, and we got where we because of what happened to the economy the year 2020, our debt situation was very bad. Our debt to GDP ratio had gone beyond 70, sustainable level, I should say. We had a lot of problems, especially Bank of Ghana. Reserves has almost been depleted, and we didn't have enough buffer to protect the city. And so balance of payment problem was really the main thing that pushes to an IMF. And I quite remember we had a successful staff level agreement on the program with them December 2022. And so the green light was there for them to endorse, for the board, an IMF board to endorse the program. Unfortunately, there were some, problems, some inherent problems, especially when it had to do with mobilization of internal resources. I mean, the revenue generation effort of the country wasn't very good at the time. And so they wanted our parliament to revise, the mood of our revenue mobilization, the mode of revenue mobilization. And they did it by passing 3 revenue amendment bills, instituting the framework to tell an IMF that we are ready to generate more resources internally. And so with that, May 2023, they endorsed the program, and it was supposed to last for 36 months. That is, this month ending would have been the 36th. And before we went for this particular program, post-COVID economic recovery program, post-COVID economic recovery program, otherwise known as PCPEC. And in this particular policy document, we are assisting quantitative performance criteria that the IMF was supposed to use to assess whether or not we were doing well. Because every 6 months, they were supposed to come for staff level agreement for them to look at what we were supposed to do during the period and whether or not we've been able to meet, the conditions. And let me say that for all the staff level agreements that we had, anytime they came, we were doing very well. I can't remember October 2023, about 5 months of being under the program, I had opportunity to be part of IMF World Bank annual meeting, and during the day, the IMF board single-handedly, single out, sorry, I should say, she singled out Ghana that so many countries have gone for the bailout, and Ghana was doing exceptionally well. So she singled out Ghana and rather asked other countries to learn Ghana's example. So this was to say that we started doing very well with the program right from the day one. And part of what we were supposed to meet, some of the conditions we were supposed to meet, you mentioned them already. Fiscal prudence was indeed a very important quantitative criteria. And by this, we were supposed to reduce the fiscal deficit. Earlier, before we went for the program, if you remember, somewhere 2018, Ghana government had already put together what they call Fiscal Responsibility Act. And by that act, we were not supposed to incur fiscal deficits of more than 5% of the GDP. And now 2019, fiscal deficit on cash basis was 4.8. So we were well within the remits of the law. Unfortunately, 2020, we went to 8.7. Indeed, and IMF even put it in the region of 15 to 16. But the World Ghana, how we were calculating the fiscal deficit, per our calculation, we had 11.7. That was way beyond the 5% that was supposed to be the ceiling for the law. It meant that a lot of things happened in 2020. Ghana government revenue and the performance was very bad. We couldn't meet the 66 that they initially projected to rake in. We ended, instead of 66, we ended with 55. And we spent so much, well over the projected expenditure. And so that left a yawning gap of revenue mobilization dichotomy. And so that's why we came to where we are. And as I have said, we've done very well with the program. One of the things that we did very well was having reserves. This is the highest nominal reserves we have had as a country. You can't say the highest rare, because dollar also loses value. Otherwise, this is the highest nominal we have had, as a country, and it's so good. Why did we get to where we were at the beginning of the program? Because we wanted to preserve more reserves. IMF placed a ban on Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana was not allowed to pump more than $80 million a month. And so that was, so the whole agenda was that before the end of the program, we should have been able to have so much reserve to protect the city. Indeed, beginning of 2022, Bank of Ghana had $9.9 billion US, and that was enough to protect the city. But unfortunately, because of what happened, the global economic turmoil, that saw Germany registering the highest inflation in 70 years, US of A registering the highest inflation of 40 years. So prices everywhere went up. And what it meant was that people were now spending more foreign currencies, importing the same quantity of goods, and that exerted so much pressure on Bank of Ghana. That's why they almost ran out of their reserves. And so now the whole agenda was, let's try to increase the reserves. And the one way to do it is not to take so much from the reserves. And so there was a ban on the Bank of Ghana not to not to intervene in the secondary forest with more than $80 million a month. And so we kept to this promise. And by 3rd December, when we had 2024, when we had another staff level agreement, and IMF saw that we've done so well with the reserves, and that we were having almost $9 billion. They lifted the ban, and that gave us the room to start pumping. And I can't remember at that time, $1 was almost about 16 cedis. But as soon as the old governor, the ban was lifted, the old governor pumped so much, so that at the time Akufo-Addo was hesitant, that $1 was going for 14 cedis, 70 cash was. Then a new government came, they made so much dollar, and so they started now pumping. But what has helped us to conserve more is not because we are doing something so special. At the beginning of the year 2022, when the whole economic turmoil started, an ounce of gold on the global market was going for $1,800. Somewhere last year, it went beyond 6,000, and today, as I speak with you, it hovers around 5,000. What it means is that we've been getting more reserves, more inflows from gold sales, more inflows from gold sales, and that is one single reason why we have been able to exceed the target now. Over 6 months import cover.
Doc,
it's one of the best we have had in our economic
Doc,
history.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
You are attributing the gains that have been made to the previous government. Why do you think it is so?
No, I haven't mentioned any government, but I'm saying that before we went for the program, we sat with them and we put a document together. We call it PCPEG, Post-COVID Economic Recovery Program. And in it, we had 16 quantitative criteria, performance criteria. And so the whole arrangement was that at the end of every 6 months, they will come here to observe what we have done. If we have met the conditions, they would give us more money. Indeed, the day they announced the package, they gave us $600 million US. And the 6 months later, when they came for the first level agreement, because we've done so much, we have met all the expectations, they handed over another $600 million US to us. And subsequently, on average, they were giving us $360 million anytime we pass the conditions. Then the old government, so they met the condition for the boss approval May 2023, and the first staff level agreement was December. Everything was okay, and that's why January they extended the standard to us again. Somewhere in the middle of 2024, they came for another staff level agreement. They didn't have any issue. We were doing very well. And at the same time, at the end of 2027, they came. At the end of 2027, what was so good about it was that after telling us not to supply more than 80 million to the Bank of Ghana, not to intervene with more than 80 million to the secondary forest. 3rd December, exactly 3rd December, when we 2024, when we had the last staff level agreement for the old government, they realized that we have already had enough in our reserves, almost 9 billion. And so that was the day they lifted the ban. And that was why the old governor was able to pump more dollars.
All right, Doc.
If the old government, let me complete with this. If the old government then left 9 billion, and today we have over 14.5 billion, why would you still bring in the old government? Yeah, the old government also, we shouldn't forget, they also did very well when it, talking about gold reserves and all that. And
All right, Doc. Can I ask you a question right now?
Yes, sir.
I want us to talk about the non-financial policy. I would want you to explain it to us so that we can also be clear about it.
Yeah, if you look at what I just said, this $3 billion that they gave us, it was a standard credit facility. And so they never gave all the $3 billion to us, but after every 6 months, they came here to observe what we have done, and based on what they saw, then they extended the credit to us. Now, this time around, the PCR that we have doing, the policy coordination instrument that we have entered with them, doesn't come with loans. So they are not going to give us money, and but the conditions, such as fiscal prudence, one of the quantitative performance criteria was fiscal prudence. So you should be able to spend within your limit. Don't overspend. In other words, make sure you don't incur very high and unsustainable, what we call fiscal slippages. And so let me say that this time around, all those policies are there. They really help. The policies that we put together, and now I'm not singling out that the old government was the one that did everything. Of course, they did all the 16 quantitative criteria, and it was during their time that we started the implementation. When the new government came, they also continued. Now they have continued. We have completed. We've done so well with the program. And they think that
okay, you're talking about the program now. Can I ask you this?
They think that people, let me land on that. They think that people should still be around to help. But the people are not ready to give us money. They are not ready to extend credit to us. But they are ready to work with us. And so the new terms that we have agreed with them until 2029, they will be around. And anytime we make any policy, fiscal policy or monetary policy decision, they would have to endorse it. In other words, we cannot just get up a day and say that we're going to do A, B, C, that borders on anything monetary or fiscal. Anything monetary fiscal, they would have to agree that what you are doing, I think, is good. If it is not good, they will give us technical advice as to how best to do it until we get it right to be implemented. Once you do that, it is very good for two reasons. One reason is that you don't get to go your old ways of always overspending. Especially during election years, we overspend, and that would always plunge the economy back into crisis. And so with them being here, I'm sure they are going to monitor to make sure we don't get there. Another thing is also that it's going to give us international credibility. Once the actors in the international space get to know that you are working with an IMF, it gives them that confidence to work with us. And so that is also going to help us in terms of our loan acquisition and other, terms and conditions that we may have with our foreign investors and our foreign development partners. I think it will be very smooth because with them having assurance that IMF is here with us, it will give them more confidence, I should say, to open up and work with Ghana.
What are some of the strategies that we've put in place so that we ensure that we don't return back to the program?
In fact, this is a very intelligent question you have asked, and since last Friday, I have been asked, almost everybody who interviews me would ask this question. Yeah, my brother, the main reason why we go to IMF is balance of payment, reason. The main problem that sends us to IMF is balance of payment problem. When I talk about balance of payment problem, it has to do with the foreign currency that we have. As a small open market economy, we struggle when it comes to international trade. We don't produce so many things that we rely on imports. We rely on imports. And this reliance on the imports, you need foreign currencies. And so anytime the Bank of Ghana, the central bank doesn't have enough, that is when we always have to rush to an IMF for assistance. And so how do we stop this? We can only stop this if we come back home to work harder on local production. And rather, since 1957, 69 good years now, we have been using the same methods of farming. And so it's time we move to modernization of agriculture. We've been talking about this since I was in primary school. Let's modernize our agriculture. We have to stop talking and stand for action. Let's work more to improve the agricultural sector and also the manufacturing sector, especially build more factories to buy the raw materials that the agricultural sector will produce. And once you do that, you are creating more jobs for your people. Another thing importantly is that when you do that, you are now cutting import. So most of what otherwise would have gone outside to import, you are now producing them here. And once you get to produce more of those things, number one, the demand for dollar goes down. So people wouldn't need dollars. People wouldn't rush all the time to, for dollars, let alone to require that Bank of Ghana would have to intervene to protect the city. And so if we really want to be very sustainable, if we really want to be economically independent, 1957, we became politically independent, and since then, we've been struggling with the economy. The only way out there is to improve local production, agricultural sector, the rail sector. Let's improve the rail sector to produce more of otherwise what we would have imported. When that happens, it's going to cut significantly our demand for dollars. And so Bank of Ghana wouldn't even be thinking about reserves to conserve, yet alone to supply, to protect the city. And so this is the number one thing. If the government can do that and we can work harder, my brother, there will be no IMF again. Otherwise,
can we talk about some of the sacrifices that were made?
You say?
Some of the sacrifices that were made.
Yeah, the sacrifices during, the time of the implementation, some of them had to do, first of all, with taxes. I told you that the staff level agreement was reached December 2022, and when the staff level agreement was reached, and IMF only red flag at the time was the revenue mobilization effort. As much as they were concerned, we were not doing enough with our revenue, and so we needed to now revise our revenue bills. And so immediately there were 3 revenue amendment bills, if we remember, and I think they are approved of it somewhere April 2023, and that was the basis for which an IMF now gave us the green light in May 2023. Now, people have asked whether or not all tax increases, government is going to revert them back to where we were before the amendments. I don't think so. They've been very helpful. Even last year, we didn't do well. A year before last year, 2024, we exceeded our revenue targets. But last year, we didn't meet our revenue targets, which means that we still need those laws to stay so Ghana government can rake in more revenue. Because the moment you play with the revenue, in other words, you are saying Ghana government should go and borrow. And the borrowing is what will one day plunge us to that crisis that will push us to go for an IMF, packaging. And so I think the sacrifices that we made in terms of the new revenue amendment bills that saw revenue on alcohol and many other beverages being increased. If you remember, all those, and I don't think it is prudent for the government to reduce all those taxes to send us back to where we were before those amendments. I think we have to keep them. And then keeping them, we also, somebody asked in the morning whether electricity government is also going to do something about it. Government is going to reduce prices. And when the new government came, they were increasing tariffs. And the understanding was that it was because of an IMF program. And I said, no, the new government, yes, talked about that, but that was not what was the case. The IMF package didn't force us to increase prices of our electricity. Rather, they said we should always periodically look at the whole issue and then revise, the tariffs. Revision doesn't mean that it should always be going up. Revision could be going down or whatever. So it's not always that you have to increase prices. And I have told many media houses today that if that was so, then the old government that sent us to, they led the negotiation, everything that had to be done, they did it all under the leadership of Ken Oforiatta. So the question I was asking was that were we I mean, immediately after joining the program, did we see those electricity increases, the tariffs increases? We didn't see that at the time, and so I don't think that it's necessary for the government to reduce prices of to reduce tariffs because we have left IMF. No, it's too early days to look at that. I have always maintained that ECG is not operating at an efficient levels, so we have a lot of problems to do with that ECG, and so we need rather to sit down, look at how best we can help ECG to run efficiently. So that would, in a way, reduce the cost. We've been told always that when the power is produced, we lose a chunk of it through the obsolete transmission system. And so we need to spend more, recapitalize ECG to, as it were, change quite a number of things, especially along the transmission chain, so it will reduce the loss of energy. You know, if we are able to do all this as a country, I'm sure we wouldn't be experiencing the frequent power outages that nobody, likes. And so I think that it's too early days to call on the government to revise electricity tariffs downwards or reduce prices because, according to them, we Ghanaian sacrifice for the implementation of the program. I don't think so, my brother.
All right, so Doc, can we switch up a little bit as we look at our health sector? All right, so
Okay.
I want to ask you this. I mean, there's a health summit happening now in Geneva, which I'm very sure that you know, and you happen to be a development economist. Muhammad says that U.S. aid cut had led U.S. to lose $78 million. Briefly, can you, can we self-finance our health systems if you look at what is happening there right now? Hello, Doc. Doc, are you online? All right, so we're talking to Dr. George Domfair, who happens to be a development economist. We're talking about Ghana's bailout from the IMF. I mean, we're also looking at some of the issues that are coming out from it and also looking at ways in which Ghana as a country can stand on its own. We've been speaking to him a while ago. I'm thinking that we've lost him, but I'm sure that we're going to get him online so that we can continue the conversation. There are some few questions, I think very, very important questions that I would want to ask him before the show ends this afternoon. So, good afternoon, sir. Are you online?
Yeah, I'm online.
All right, so let me quickly ask you this. I mean, I was asking about the health seminar.
I heard about everything. I even trying to answer, but I didn't know you were not hearing me.
Come again,
Okay.
I didn't hear you, sir.
Yeah, okay, so very good observation. It is true. It's not been easy for a small open market economy like Ghana. Yeah, I do understand. And so most often we've been receiving grants here and there. And why do we receive grants? Why do we go for loans? We go for loan, we go for grants because the revenue that we generate home is always not able to meet our expenditure. Now, with Ghana coming out successfully from the IMF program, I think it is time now that we sat down to think about how best we could work to increase the revenue. I think we need education. Ghanaians need to be educated on the importance of revenue because people always run away from tax payments. And so it is important Ghanaians get to know that manna is not raining. It is government is government because you pay tax, I pay tax. Without our taxes, there will be no government. And so we cannot ask government to always provide A, B, C, while when the government comes to us to pay taxes, we run away. And so it is important that we all help government. Anybody who has to pay a penny would always have to do that. And then while talking about that, then we also want to advise that government should also make judicious use of the revenue that they are able to mobilize. In other words, we have to look at the corruption and then avoid or as much as possible cut waste. If we are able to do this, I tell you, my brother, whatever that is about health, whatever that is about education, whatever that is about road infrastructure, we should be able to generate more revenues internally to do that. And I'm sure with what is currently happening to the global financial system, you don't, if you are a country, you don't need to sit down for somebody to tell you that you have to do your homework well, so you could always generate enough to meet your expenditure. I have all the hope that we wouldn't leave things to slip backwards, and that we're going to do very well to sustain the gains that we have gotten. To do that, we need more money, which also means that the revenue generation effort of the government shouldn't be compromised with anything.
All right, sir. Doc, are you there?
Yeah, I'm saying.
All right. So you, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's clear. And also, you're a senior research fellow at the Institute for Economic Research and Policy Planning. Recently, you spoke to the media, scoring the government 45.5% when it comes to economic research. Has anything changed in your estimation? I mean, considering now.
I think if you ask my opinion, I have so many problems with the government than before. At that time, when we did the tracker, I must say that things were far better than they are today. Now, Ghana government, I can say that they've done very well when it comes to inflation, when it comes to exchange rate. Inflation, for example, we have registered the lowest inflation, 3.2% in March, since 1985. So since 1985, we've never had anything closer to what we had March this year, and that meant that when it comes to inflation, Ghana government did very well. But my worry to that achievement is that did we need the 3% level of inflation? And the answer is a big no. If you go to Bank of Ghana's website today, they have a band with which they work. And according to them, inflation should ideally be 8%. So that is the ideal, some people would say, optimal levels of inflation. That's their main objective. They want to achieve inflation target of 8% for Ghana at all times. Now, they have said that if it goes up to 10, that is not a problem. That means that if Ghana, you get up one day, you hear inflation is 10%, no problem. So plus 2. Then minus 2, if it reduces up to 6, Bank of Ghana again doesn't have problem. So they work within that band of inflation, which is 6 to 10. Now, my brother, Bank of Ghana has been buying money from the public. So anytime we hear they have pumped $1 billion to the system, the $1 billion is not as if they went to Makola market and then they just release the $1 billion from a bag. That's it. No, they sell the dollar. And anytime Bank of Ghana, for example, comes to sell $1 billion a month, in a way they are taking from the economy 11 billion Ghana cedis. 11 billion, that's not a small money. Now, that notwithstanding, recently when their report came, we realized that they have also paid interest rate. The interest rate payment they did to commercial banks that they engaged for their open market operation for last year, they spent 16.7 billion. Before the bank will spend 16.7 billion taking cash out of the system through the bank, it means that they are taking so much money from the bank. On the other hand, you are using exchange rate. You are selling dollar, and in the process, you are taking cedis from the system. At the same time, you are selling government bills, you are selling DOG bills, and in the process, you spend 16.7 billion to the bank, which meant that you have given them so much, and giving them so much meant that you also took so much money from the system. Now, because they are taking so much money from the system, yes, the economy on paper is excellent. But when it comes to the reality, it becomes a problem. Now you have almost taken all the money from the system. There is not much money in the system. So when Abaso can guys go to their shop and they open, nobody comes to buy. Not only that, if you go to Volta region, rice farmers are crying because the whole year people haven't come to buy their rice. If you go to North, maize farmers are crying. If you go to Kintampo, Techiman, Enclave, young farmers are crying. They are not getting patronage for their farm produce. And so, if you all your aim is to bring down inflation at whatever cost. That's not how we manage an economy. Inflation is like BP. If your BP is very high, it can kill you. Yeah. In the same way, when it is very low, it can also kill you. So when inflation was 54%, the Ghanaians tried, we didn't like it. And so when it has come down, that is very good. But coming down, as soon as you hit the band, which has been your objective for so many years, immediately you should have pulled the brakes to stop the open market operation and also, the $1 billion that you pump in every month to protect the city. If you do that, city will be stronger. If you do that, inflation will go down. But Ghanaians will still suffer. And that is why I have a serious problem with the government. When we are speaking to them, they will tell you inflation is low. Yes, it is true. And it is the best we have had since 1985. But is it only the low inflation that Ghanaians want? I think beyond that, we want to see food on our table. And so if I go to the market, inflation is low, but I open my shop, nobody comes there to buy. What is that thing doing for me? When inflation is very high, again, it discourages people away from going to the market to buy. That is true. And so you need it to come to a level that many would be encouraged to go to the market to buy. And when people are buying from the market, it encourages producers to also produce more. And that's how the economy turns around. But if all your aim as a bank, as a government, is to have the lowest inflation, you can get it that way, but it will be at a greater cost. And the cost of what we have so beautifully in the books is that today everybody is crying. You go to Makola Market, they open their shops, nobody is buying from them. You go to Abosokan, they are crying. You go to Techiman, everybody is crying. And so we will play with the government that they have to check the way they are taking money from the system. If possible, the open market operation, Bank of Ghana should stop. And maybe because we have more dollars, they can still continue to supply the dollars. But even the dollars, do they have to supply 1 billion? I think 500 million a month will suffice so that we are able to balance the equation well. In that case, CD would depreciate maybe a bit, and so we will see some amount of depreciation, and then inflation also come up a bit. But in that process, you see more money in the system, so farmers will produce a lot, and people will go and buy. When people buy from what they have produced, that's what would encourage them to go back again to farming. What we are experiencing today, if it perpetuates, a time will come, farmers would abandon their farms, and that's going to affect the economy. And so we need to create the balance. In as much as we want lower inflation, we also must check the cost. The cost is becoming too high. Apart from Bank of Ghana spending 16.7 billion to do open market operation, that is at the cost of the country. Again, another cost is that there's no money in the system, and that is affecting productivity, my brother.
All right. Dr. George Dompe, who happens to be a development economist, thank you very much for talking to us on Good Afternoon, Ghana. We appreciate your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when it comes to our economic issues, and also for the fact of the matter, telling us about why Ghana bailed out from the IMF. Thank you very much for talking to us. And that's it for Good Afternoon, Ghana on Metro TV. My name is Nana Kwesi. Continue to watch the rest of our programs.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
In a time where noise is loud but clarity is rare, one program is changing the conversation. Welcome to the Intelligence Desk. This is not a talk show. This is a working studio. Each week, we break down the biggest national and global issues from AI and digital transformation to trade, jobs, governance, and national competitiveness, and turn complexity into practical, usable knowledge. Sharp questions, structured thinking, real solutions built live on air. with resident resource person Dr. David King Boyson. The show moves beyond commentary, designing frameworks, mapping strategies, and holding decision makers accountable. From the big issue briefing to the strategy lab to the innovation and opportunity board, every episode delivers tools you can use. If you care about Ghana's future, if you value clarity over chaos, if you believe leadership requires intelligence, then this is your desk. The Intelligence Desk, hosted by RSM Kofi Dole Lawson on Metro TV, where Ghana thinks forward.
What was all this drama of coming to my class late today?
I told you I'm pregnant. What are you doing about it?
I said, Abado, why make up so?
Hey, what police are being teaching you? Shall we Phoebe? Shall not say I pass our bravo?
But why are you saying that?
That girl is a charlatan. It's a wolf in a sheep's clothing. A prostitute in disguise.
Abaya come so. Na bla ubo college mu ha eye.
My friend said if she come and come, since I'm bomb high, don't come and spoil my spiritual mood for me.
But you the other time the running way, Charlie, I take come no you chop am. My food no.
Do you know how hungry I was that day?
For not say if you running there. If I bring am no if no.
One more thing, I will embark on a project like 1 boy, 3 girlfriends.
Cook Africa, Cook Africa, Cook Africa on AU Day. My name is Marcel, a typical Beninese, live in Ghana. I'm inviting all the Beninese or non-Beninese, I'm inviting all of you on the 23rd May at Metro TV at 9 a.m. sharp. I'm inviting all of you to come and then we'll enjoy jengple, a typical Benin food, which we use the similar ingredients as a jollof, the same ingredient we use for jengple, but this time around we add basil to it because that one is a different aroma we are looking for. That's why we add those extra spices to it to get what we really want. I'm inviting all of you to come and join AU Day on the 23rd May. Je vous invite. Merci et au revoir.
Hello, my name is Christelle Diane. I'm a Cameroonian living in Ghana. So I invite all Cameroonians living in Ghana and all Africans to come to Cook Africa on the 23rd May at 9 a.m. from at Metro TV. There we will present our delicious food, which is ndolé and plantain or bobolo. Donc j'invite tous les Camerounais basés ici au Ghana et tous les Africains de venir à Cook Africa le 23 mai à 9h plus précise pour déguster à nos plats, nos délicieux plats venant du Cameroun.
Your world, your stories, your moment.
Welcome to Metro TV.
From breaking news to uncovering the facts of the story. Breathtaking events, mouth-watering trends, and unstoppable entertainment, all in one place. From the banks and corporate